What's up guys, Kevin here with TLD, bringing you our full review of Kirby Return to Dreamland for the Nintendo Wii. Now, unlike last year's Kirby's Epic Yarn, this one does play like a traditional Kirby game. You do suck up enemies, absorb their powers, and have a number of different ones to choose from, about 20 total I believe. Ranging from things like shooting fire, having a sword to wield, throwing spears, or even just exploding and destroying everything on the screen. Now, in addition to the regular powers that you can absorb from enemies, you'll also occasionally run into special shining enemies, whom when you absorb you turn into ridiculous overpowered versions of standard powers. For instance, getting gigantic swords that destroy everything on screen, or turning into a gigantic rolling snowball of doom that just bowls over everything in its path. As with most Kirby titles, this game is aimed at being appropriate for all ages. The storyline itself is definitely aimed at a younger audience. The way the animated sequences are done, they're very childlike and meant to be understood even by younger gamers. However, the gameplay itself is still enjoyable for gamers of all ages. Now, one of the big additions to this particular Kirby title, however, is the addition of 4-player co-op, which Nintendo did realize was very popular after their new Super Mario Bros. Game on the Wii. Now, the way the co-op works in this one is a little different. The game is always focused on the lead player, who is always Kirby. However, at any time, other players can join in by taking up a life and then playing as either a different colored Kirby or as one of the other popular characters like Meta Knight, King Dedede, or Waddle Dee. Each of these side characters has a static set of skills, which is very similar to one of Kirby's powers. However, the upside of them is that they'll never lose it, which is really useful during boss fights or certain challenges where you never have to worry about losing your sword or some type of weapon. Now, as I said, while the game does allow for up to 4-player co-op, the action is always centered on that first player as Kirby. The camera will always be centered on him, so if you go way ahead of the other players, they'll just be instantly teleported to where you are. And if you die as Kirby, that's game over for everyone. Now, one of the more awkward aspects of co-op is how characters are able to heal each other. Basically, during the game, the way you normally heal health is by eating food. So if one player eats an item, let's say there's a banana and he just goes over and grabs a banana, if another player runs up to him fast enough, they'll actually have a quick, what basically looks like a makeout session, and they both gain health. It's like you just regurgitate the food into the other player's mouth, and voila, everyone gains life. It's especially awkward in moments where everyone's low on life, and then one guy eats a maximum tomato, which is a full health recover, and then the screen just basically repeatedly freezes as everyone makes out with each other to regain full life. Now, as far as the challenge rating for the game goes, it's pretty easy overall. It's especially easy early on when the first world takes only about 30 or 40 minutes to complete, and as the game continues on, it will get a little harder, but it's overall not that challenging. Especially if you play in full 4-player co-op, a lot of the boss fights can be extremely easy as everyone just gangs up and attacks them as fast as they can. Now, one of the ways the game does try to ramp up the difficulty a little bit is the addition of special gears, which are hidden throughout all the stages. Basically, if you explore levels as thoroughly as you can, you'll discover these gears, which are then used to unlock a number of different special bonuses in the game. For instance, there's power rooms, which Kirby can use to gain whatever power he wants before going to a new level, special minigames that players can do in multiplayer, as well as challenge maps for each of Kirby's powers. Now, when you put into account these bonus challenges as well as the length of the main game, it actually totals up to being a pretty decent length for a platformer. We're looking at about 15 to 20 hours depending on player skill, although like I said, it is a pretty easy ride through most of the game. Now, the lack of difficulty aside, the game is still very enjoyable to play through, especially in 4-player co-op, where it's just fun to see how ridiculous some of the levels get and how strange some of Kirby's powers can be. Overall, the game is very enjoyable to play, especially in 4-player co-op, but its lack of difficulty may turn some gamers off. It's definitely playing a game on easy mode all the time. I'd recommend it to anyone looking for a fun little side distraction, especially if you're looking for something to play until Zelda Skyward Sword comes out in a couple weekends. That's our review of Kirby Return to Dreamland for the Wii. If you guys haven't got a chance yet, make sure to check out our latest 2 vids, my reaction to the Grand Theft Auto 5 announcement trailer, as well as John's first installment on the fastest MacBook Pro on the planet. And if you guys want to be super awesome, make sure to hit that like button. Till next time, I'm Kevin for TLD, thanks for watching.